Vale, pues si no estamos todos congelados y queréis hacer alguna pregunta.
Are you cold? Too cold for questions?
Sí. Hola, yo quería preguntar.
Yes. I would like to ask Fernando and Giuseppe a question. You said your gvSIG application is for a particular archaeological site. What problems do you think you have for other sites or other potential archaeological clients? And can you elaborate a little bit?
Bueno, en cuanto a la especialidad que tiene este yacimiento es a lo que me he referido anteriormente.
The particular site I referred to, as I said, was almost devastated. There were no structures over ground. It was only the holes on the ground that remained filled. What did that mean? Well, it's a bit of an archaeological controversy, but I will answer. Usually, interventions are built after interpreting stratigraphic structures. In this case, we managed to do the stratigraphic work because the hole and the filling material was all together, and the production of action units was automatic, which made work a lot simpler. And that's the specificness of it. As for the contents of these holes, well, obviously the stratigraphic sheets include information on the objects recorded for each stratigraphic unit. Having said so, it is only treated as a descriptive text. It is not tabulated or quantified. Possibly in the future, I don't know, but to start with, this tool has been designed as an assistant to the diggers. It is not a way of fully managing the site, because that could be tempting to produce something to have comprehensive management of an excavation site, but attempts were made in the past and they were not particularly successful. A question to Antonio. The Council of Valencia, or the Provincial Council of Valencia, well, it depends on the town, on the size of the municipality, but some of them have GIS systems, and in some places they are called local GIS or GIS, and their amounts of data vary. Two questions. What is the main difference with what you do in Petra, and what are your advantages in your system concerning information size with the tool the Council gives you and your own tool in Petra? Well, I made a comparison in the past, and I used Moncada as a reference. In Moncada, the system was implemented. They paid for it. It was not free, and it gave them a lot of problems. And at least that's what I learned in the forum. And yes, you can have a GIS system in a place and not be able to implement the same system in a different place. I was not interested in paying thousands of euros. I didn't need that system because I was able to develop my own GIS system tailored to my needs and being able to update it myself, etc. As for information and data on a local GIS system provided by the provincial council, well, the data would come automatically from the cadastre and other sources, but no one will give you how tall a street post is, light post is in your town. No one's going to give you that information. Moncada have done a lot of work, actually, and they're doing what we do, but nothing is given to you. Well, I think you have a big advantage, the updating tool or the possibility of updating it. In Moncada, they do the update every 6 months, but as a matter of fact, they do it every 2 years. Besides, if the cadastre does not confirm your validations, you cannot update it. So I think you are in a better position in Bétera. Yes, it very much depends on the work done by technicians and what I do too, and my colleagues do, because we do a lot of work. The draftsmen do the CAD work, the engineers do their bit too, but sometimes the original information is in PDF format, and you just need, a PDF file stamped. But with the updates, well, we take yearly ortho photographs, but we also have interim photographs. And for planning purposes, we also hired interim photographs, ortho photographs. So you do what you can and what you want in a way. Obviously, we are dependent on the cadastre because their update is yearly, is annual. And yes, you are dependent to some extent, but it's always up to you to do more things or to add new things. And that's what we do. Yes, it depends on the items. Some, like property details or owner's details, you're only given such details every year, once a year, and that's it. As for infrastructures, well, Bétera has 22,000 inhabitants, and once you start growing as a town, it's not that easy. My question is to Gonzalo. First of all, congratulations on your work. It was very interesting. And my question is about the module for expropriations. Is it more intended to calculate things before eviction, or is it intended to calculate areas already evicted or expropriated for building a road, for instance? Well, it's more a management tool, but it has editing tools too, obviously. But it's more intended for the thousands of plots which are already there, because you may have to know if a plot or a property has been evicted or expropriated for a particular purpose, and if that piece of land is going to be used differently at a moment in time. Or, yes, some plots may have to be sold after expropriation. All plots have a particular geometry, a square, a minimum square, which is seen as a dot, because planning on the basis of other formats would take a lot of time. It would be time consuming, and that was not deemed necessary. But if you actually need the real size of a plot for topological purposes, etc., it can be done because the raster is underneath and without having to do other more difficult calculations. Or for an extension of the motorway, for instance, of the highway, if a new lane needs to be built or added, in that case, yes, you would be dealing with new plots, but that would be more for management purposes. Well, we've done a bit of work on related to expropriation. That's why I asked. No more questions, so perfect timing. Thank you. Thank you to all speakers. Thank you for being here. And I'm sorry, but I'm not leaving with asking Juan Luca, how on earth are you wearing a short-sleeved shirt? It's bloody cold. Okay, let me remind you, you can sign up for dinner. You don't have to pay now. Thank you.